Hi everybody, just a quick video to update everyone on the goings-on in my neck of the woods, which have been many and varied. So, first off, a lot of you may have noticed that I am not there steamrolling over the other hosts at Honey Badger Radio quite as often as usual, as in the past. Some of you have even expressed some concern about me, but never fear, I'm still here, still okay. Life's been getting in the way of my online activities of late, and I've had to pull a no-show more often than I would really like to. And that's not to say it's anything to worry about. Nobody's dying of cancer, nobody's declaring bankruptcy, nothing really drastic is going on. It's just stuff has piled up and it demands my attention, and of course I'm dealing with it in not necessarily very healthy or effective ways. In fact, in some cases, some days I find myself not dealing with it through avoidance behaviors that I've learned to recognize for what they are, engaging in shallow discussions online in comment sections, things like that, that don't really demand a lot of me emotionally, maybe intellectually, or sort of that autistic part of me finds those to be really relaxing and interesting and kind of intriguing, but they're not actually dealing with my issues. They're not actually doing anything to get my issues sorted out, the things that I need to get done. So it's a coping mechanism, and it's counterproductive in a lot of ways, but what can I say? It's extremely attractive to set aside the more important, the more meaty, the more weighty things sometimes for me, the ones that really demand a lot of me psychologically and emotionally, and just focus on those kinds of shallow arguments and discussions online, and just sort of ignore everything in favor of that. So that's pretty much what I've been doing for the most part for the last few weeks. That's about the only things that I've really been getting done to any real degree, and other than the things that absolutely have to be done, like driving my kids out to BC and driving them back and things like that. So it's been a ride the last month or so. So there you go. Now, there are a few updates that I need to actually give everyone as far as, because there have been things that I have been doing. It's just you may not actually be aware of them. So, second thing, something sinister is afoot on YouTube, and this past month I have had a handful of my videos demonetized on the grounds that they were not advertiser friendly. And I have noticed a bigger and bigger number of YouTubers coming out as essentially saying that they have experienced this themselves. Chris Raygun, Philip DeFranco, MrRepzion, others have all had certain videos of theirs demonetized based on the content being not advertiser friendly. Now, because of what YouTube has done with my videos over the last month, my ad revenue from Google AdSense was essentially cut in half last month compared to the previous month. And that has to at least be in part due to this demonetization, because my ad revenue has not been this low in probably 2.5 to maybe 3 years. And it really hasn't ever mattered. I've gone a month, 6 weeks, 2 months without putting up any new fresh content, and I've never seen ad revenue plummet to this degree. I've never seen it as low as this in years. So it's an issue, and the justification seems to be from YouTube that the videos in question are exploring controversial or sensitive topics, and therefore they are not advertiser friendly. Now, as far as I know, it's only anti-feminist and anti-SJW channels that have had this happen to them, based on their controversial topics. And we all know that those exact same topics are covered by social justice and feminist content creators. So that's something to think about. And again, this is only as far as I know. You know, I'm not certain. I don't follow a whole lot of feminists. I would not have seen a feminist channel complaining about, say, their video on the Stanford rape case being demonetized. So if anyone has any information regarding SJW or feminist channels that might have actually also experienced this, I'd really be much obliged if you send it my way. Basically, I want to be certain whether it's the topics themselves or the individual vloggers' opinions on those topics that have been deemed to be controversial by YouTube. And for any of you who would be so inclined, I would suggest that if you're not already subscribed to some of these channels that have been affected, and even if there are pro-feminist or pro-SJW channels that also have been affected, I would suggest to you that you think about going and subscribing to those channels. Even if you don't agree with all or even any of the opinions expressed on those channels, if you support freedom of expression, association, and conscience, I would recommend that you do this one thing to make a stand and maybe make an actual statement regarding why you're doing it. I did the same thing with Philip DeFranco today. I have never been interested in YouTube news channels. I was aware of him because sometimes I go surfing on YouTube with my 14-year-old son, and we've come across a couple of his videos, and I like his style, I like his delivery, I like his take on things. I'm just not generally interested in YouTube news. His channel was affected by this, and I subscribed to his channel. I left a comment explaining why I was doing so. And so essentially, if this is something that I think can only be combated through a grassroots effort of supporting the channels that are being affected in this way. So there you go. I would suggest that you think about doing that. Thirdly, I was recently a guest on both of Gavin McGinnis's shows, and those are the Gavin McGinnis Show, which is hosted on Compound Media, and How's It Going, Eh?, which is hosted on the Rebel.media. And it's a real shame that both shows are available only through paid subscriptions. But there is a little bit of my appearance on How's It Going, Eh? That is available for free on Rebel Media's YouTube channel. They took, I guess, what they thought were some of the best bits, and in order to promote people to go and subscribe. And really, it doesn't cost a whole lot to subscribe to the premium content on either of those networks, Rebel.media or Compound Media. I think it's $8 a month through Compound, $6.95 a month through to get all of the content through Compound Media, which is Anthony Cumia's network, and it is $8 a month to get all of the Rebel Media's premium content, which includes Lauren Southern and a whole bunch of other stuff. So think about that. If it's worth the $7 or $8 a month for you, go ahead and check it out. If not, just go and watch that little clip and just, you know, be happy that I'm getting the word out to lots and lots of different people who maybe would not necessarily be aware. Fourthly, just the other day, I recorded an hour-long interview with Dave Rubin for his show. It's part of a planned week-long feature on YouTube personalities. And that interview and the rest of them, I think they're doing 5, YouTube personalities, should be up within the next week or two, so keep your eyes open for that. Fifthly, is that even a word? Anyway, next up, I'm tentatively scheduled for a guest spot on a Toronto-based podcast called The Dark Room next week. From what I gather, their focus is on counterculture movements and lifestyles, so basically weirdos. I'm thinking that I'll fit in just fine, and it should be interesting, and I will let you know when that goes up, and you'll be able to go and give it a listen. Sixthly, the Red Pill documentary is slated to release in theaters in mid-October in New York and Los Angeles. The details will be down in the low bar. And I know that there are other screenings that are currently in the works, including one in, I believe, Melbourne, Australia, and another in my own hometown of Edmonton. I'm in the process of collaborating a little bit with the gentleman who secured screening rights through a very generous donation to the Red Pills Kickstarter campaign. And we hope to be able to put on an awesome event, probably in late October, and I will keep everyone posted as events unfold. And lastly, September 17th, I will be giving the keynote address at Canada's first national conference on men's issues, which will be held in Ottawa. It's a one-day conference. It features 9 other speakers, including the inimitable Janice Fiamengo, on whom I have the most drastic and desperate girl crush, and a panel discussion on the future of men's issues advocacy and gender equality. So there's going to be a lot of people involved. David Shackleton, Dr. James Brown, who I've had the pleasure and honor of meeting more than once, and it was just a wonderful, he's just an incredibly smart man. So essentially, if you are in or around Ottawa and you would be interested in attending, I'm going to leave a link to the event page in the low bar, and I will plan on seeing you there. It's on a Saturday, so should fit with most people's schedules, and there's going to be lots going on there, lots for anyone who's interested in any of the issues, involved in what we do. So, I guess for now, that's it for me. I'm going to post as many of the links as I have available in the low bar for your perusal. And hopefully, now that the school year is back in swing and my 14-year-old is out of my hair, and some of the pressing issues have been dealt with, I will be back with fresh content soon, and so hopefully it won't be demonetized. Just saying. Anyhow, I will see you all later.